Hello everyone, welcome on back to Survival Challenge. So first things first, we have staircase railings, pepper grinders, and some eggs all to sell. It's all heading up to the co-op. Obviously we're not going through enough eggs through the mayo production to, just have eggs go there all the time. But we do get to sell some, and November is the high price for that. I do actually need to show everyone something. I did it just real quick off camera. Visit. I made a road in here. Yeah, it's kind of wide in here obviously now, but we could probably narrow it up some and make it look a little better, but it doesn't really matter too much. And the road goes all the way up here. So I will quickly charge myself some money. Right there. $12.50 seems probably about right. I did do a little bit more asphalt around the oil mill and some around the multi-fruit buying station. Just a little bit. Just to kind of, put it right around the base of the item, the production. The grass field is actually ready to harvest. I'm not gonna mow it though. I don't think we'll need it for quite some time still. We have quite a bit left in like the grass drying production as well as obviously in bale form. There's really no need. I am gonna spray it with some liquid fertilizer, which I do want to check. Do we have some liquid fertilizer? We do. Okay. Had to double check. And we have one field that does need to be sprayed for weeds. Get that done fairly quickly as well. Otherwise, I'm thinking about making another field. So we bought that other piece somewhat recently. And we extended the one field last time? Yeah. So now I'm thinking about another field right next to that. I might think of ways to try to combine some because we do have quite a few separate ones. I think maybe, combining some would probably make it a little bit easier to manage. Even though right now we are sitting here, no fields to harvest for the next month or two. So at the same time, we're not having issues handling it, but helps simplify things a little bit. And of course, I'm pretty sure the environmental bonus doesn't show in this, but we do still get it. Like I mentioned it before, it seems to only be this selling point, so not sure why it does that, but over 100,000, basically $140,000. Yeah, I don't know exactly which fields we would combine if we were to do, combining fields. So the plan would be to put another field right in here. I'll be right in here. So do we combine it into this, but then we take the road away? So we have to make our own road. I could combine this whole section into here into one field now that we have this road in here. Definitely combining these two fields would make sense. Combining this one. Combined all three of those. But yeah, it's definitely, I think we'll start thinking about combining some things. I did do that on the first survival challenge eventually too. We started combining some of our multitude of small fields into bigger ones once we got bigger equipment. I don't know, how many fields we'll combine in total, but Gotta make sure the road system still makes sense in the end. That's the big thing. Make sure we can still drive around anywhere that we need to go without having to add way more time to our travel. To go way out of our way just to go across the farm. You know, the layout still has to make sense. It's usually the tough part, because obviously you plan all these fields one way when you first make it. Now you got to replan it. But obviously at the time, the small fields made sense because we had a small harvester, smaller planter, sprayer, all that stuff. So it made sense to keep our fields on the small side. I think this was our big field right here, the grass field. It's not even that big anymore to standard of our other fields. We'll grab the sprayer, and whatever's in here is what we'll do first, whether it's fertilizer or herbicide. Obviously, with like getting to this road, we could continue this road all the way down and then go by the trees. Because obviously the soil map is probably not going to be good in here. Probably going to be silty clay. Probably going to be silty clay over here. This is not going to be good. It's not going to be good. Regardless, I don't think the soil map's not going to be great. Yeah, I think combining those three fields would honestly make sense. I mean, we don't need the roads there. It would kind of go away from my square or rectangle field trend I usually have. Outside of that field down there, it's primarily what all of the fields are. We could definitely have a road on the side of this here. Don't really look like we need to take many trees out to make that happen. A handful here and like one at the end, and we could make a road through here. Then I'd probably want one added. That's not our land though. Where I'd want it added, we don't have land. Yeah, just, you know, decisions. We do have that field there. It does need lime. Yeah, obviously, I think I'll make that one field. I don't know if it's going to be worth it, but we'll see. If it's not a great yielder, I may look to put it with another field or something. I mean, to be fair, it could combine with this field. Yeah, I just put the road in, but it would be makeable, you know. I've managed without driving that way for a while, so I think I could manage for longer. This should be the last strip, it looks like. We did miss a handful of pieces, it looks like. I'll do this. There's one here. There's one right down here as well. Definitely something to think about. But yeah, the reason I'm thinking that field or making that section into a field would make sense is just there is a hill in there, and I've always kind of said placing production stuff on hills are not the easiest once you have to do landscaping around it. the section across the river there is fairly flat. So if we were to do more productions or anything, having it across there would make a lot more sense probably. And we wouldn't have to get across there with the combine. This is ready to harvest, so I don't think it would take effect for this harvest, but maybe the next. It's not a huge amount lower, but it's just, I'm looking at this score and I'm seeing the nitrogen is low. And I'm gonna place bets it's not that field. It might be. Looks lower than that. Although, that would be from harvest. Because changes like that don't take effect until after harvest. And you don't need a ton on grass. I'm not sure if this would be where that is hurting us at. It's a fairly significant amount. I wouldn't think it would just be this field. It would have to be that one. We could get cows too. I was just thinking of that. Since we are producing quite a bit of grass and everything, we could easily keep up. And we would have open area across the river. It's a thought. Then that field that was clearly going to be silty clay. Pretty clear. We could just turn that into another grass field. Have to easily produce enough grass for both of the animals that use hay. I don't know if I do total mix, but I definitely would do hay at least. I think that would be something we can definitely add on to and do. Alright, I'm going to see if I can sneak the plow out of here without taking the combine out. Pretty sure we should be able to. Alright, there we go. The lime, I'll do both the new field sections together. This makes sense. Why would I grab the spreader to do one little piece and then stop, then come back the next time and do it again? Do I want to go all the way down here and around? Probably could. The outside of this will be fairly easy to do, actually. Just because we're mainly just bordered in by roads. And then we have a production there. Yeah, but this field I'm pretty much guaranteeing it's going to be just silty clay. Grass will be fine here. Doesn't, you know, we're not selling it. It goes to animals strictly, and we get you know, more every 3 months. Not gonna lie, that bush is kind of in the way. Kind of in the way. Oh, that is a massive drop off. Yeah, that is a massive drop off in there. Okay, I see why there was a tree. And I think I'll probably tighten these edges up a hair bit better. Just a little bit. That way it goes more to the edge of the land versus, you know, leaving a lot in here that is not a part of the field. Obviously, I do prefer to leave a small little strip of grass in between the field and a road, as I did over there. We'll take a little bit extra. I'm gonna do a little landscaping right there. That is definitely not gonna be it. It's fairly clear that that is going to cause issues otherwise. So there we go. That looks a lot better. Try to get this edge rounded nice. I think that's a fairly good outer edge. Yeah, I'm going to look at... nice. It's actually pretty new as well. Cow pens. Also, we have pigs. I never did pigs, but I know there's a lot of different things that go into them if I'm correct. There might be some pig feed production mods that might make it a little bit better. I'm pretty sure I'm going to need sugar beets and everything else that goes into that. Bees are just an easy thing. That's what they are. But I'm assuming 80. We don't really need slurry, but 720 with a feeding robot. Let's see, this will look decent. 75. Fairly big. Gives them a nice, you know, room to roam around. Might do that. 75 seems like a good amount, so there's one with manure and one without, and we don't really need manure. Ooh, I gotta lower that back down. Once we get to that point, I think we might do that. I've just been trying to think of productions, and we are, you know, kind of to that point. We don't have a ton more outside of modded. There's modded productions. That's kind of where we'd have to lean towards. I've done a lot of the base game stuff. A lot of it just wouldn't make sense in this case for what we're doing. Well, I think I'll go ahead and start a time lapse for this. So I'll text everyone once the time lapse is done. Alright, so we're just about done here. Just that little section back there. We'll go and grab the spreader, and we can get the line spreader on these. Oh, this field and that one. And both of these fields are good to go. Well, good to be planted, which that one will be waiting on the other field to get done so I can combine them. I just want it to, to be all the way done before, ready, I should say, before I go and start planting it. Alright, so we'll start heading down here. I do need to buy the soil map again. I did just buy it last month, but I'll have to buy it again because I've planted another field. I was not originally planning on this, if you're curious. This was not a part of the original plan. It just is now. So it's $1,500. See, yep. I told you. I told you it was going to be all silty clay. And that's exactly what it is. It'll be, perfect as a grass field. That's about it. Even combining it, I just, it's only a grass field. That is all it is. I don't think there's any other way to spin that. That's his best thing we can really put it at. Obviously, you put a crop in here, you're not going to get anywhere near top yield. You use far more seeds every time you plant it, far more fertilizer. It, in the long term, it just doesn't make sense for that. Oh, I missed a little bit there. But obviously, it as a grass field would make fine sense. You fertilize it every once in a while, and it just replants itself, basically. It's grass. It grows back. We won't have those same issues. Well, I'm going to do a short little time lapse. We'll just finish this up real quick like. Alright, so we're just going to do this small piece, and that is this whole field done for lime. I'll top it off while I'm down here as well. That way it's stored full. You never really know which field is going to be the one that's going to need to have lime next. It could be, you know, that field. It could be one of these. I don't keep track of how often I'm putting lime on these fields, so. Well, I think that is about everything for today. Thank you everyone for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Hope to see you in the next video. Bye.